Hello, and welcome back. I have decided I'm going to make this video today. I'm going to make it once. I'm not going to watch it back, decide I don't like it and remake it, which I often do. I'm just going to make it the once. I am also going to say right now that I really don't know how this topic is going to go down amongst people. And it's one of those videos that normally I would not put up because I spend a lot of time thinking about things. I've told you before that because I have suffered in the past with depression, negative comments are something that would hugely affect me. And I've only had one or two, but they do tend to affect me to the extent they often think I'm not going to bother with YouTube, but I don't want that sort of negativity in my life. And so therefore, I feel free. I want you to be free to put any comments that you like, but I have made a decision that I won't respond to them. I just don't want to get into the fact that if I respond, there may be a response come back, and then you're getting into a bit of a debate. But I did want to share my thoughts because, well, I don't know why. I just feel I need to share these thoughts. One thing I do want to make very clear as well is that my thoughts with regards to the coronavirus pandemic change on a daily basis. The information we're receiving changes on a daily basis. In fact, the news often changes hourly. On Saturday, we were looking forward to my daughter coming home from Australia in a month's time. On Sunday, we started to realise that that might not happen. By Monday, I think we knew it wouldn't happen. And of course, by yesterday, we were sure of that. We knew that, and we had been told that schools are going to close, and so there will be an inevitable lockdown at some point as well here in the UK. So anyway, my thoughts have been changing daily, and these are my thoughts today. Today on Thursday, the 19th, I think? Yeah, Thursday the 19th of March 2020. These are my thoughts with regards to the coronavirus. They might be different tomorrow. You may put something in the comments that makes me feel completely differently as well. But the reason I'm making this video is because, to my knowledge, nobody else has suggested this yet. Which basically what I'm suggesting is that the world needs this virus. People may have made videos on it and I just haven't seen them. So I'm not trying to say that I'm coming out with something new, but it is something that I'd like to put out there, and I'm interested in your thoughts. So basically, what's been going through my head is that the one thing that was front page news really, right up until this coronavirus pandemic hit the papers and the news, was the environmental crisis that we're in. And we're still in that environmental crisis. Now, I had a slight discussion with people recently, which is what got me onto this thought pattern. I'm a Christian. I think the conversation went a little bit down the lines of, is God got anything to do with this? Is he behind this? I am a big believer that that's not necessarily the case. We do have free will and we make mistakes as humans, and we have to suffer the consequences of those mistakes we make. And the trouble is, we often make these mistakes, then blame God and ask him where he is when it comes to putting these mistakes right. But, if you look back in the Bible, God sent plagues. He flooded the world. He's done things he's felt he needed to do in the past to sort out problems. And I think that this pandemic could be exactly what the world needs in order to heal itself from all the damage that we've done to it. The environmental crisis has been caused by us humans, and we were not doing a very good job of sorting it out. And this pandemic could sort everything out within a year. We're talking about, getting down our waste and changing things, all the stuff the government have been talking about doing. I've had a deadline of something like, 2025, which then they start saying, we're not going to meet that. It's going to have to be 2027. And we're talking about 2028, whatever. And I just think that's too late, really. Things need to be done more quickly with regards to the environment. So what I've seen recently on social media, whether it's fake news or not, it's still worth considering and worth taking it on board. Yesterday I saw that fish have returned to the canals in Venice because the water's cleaner. That's got to be a good thing, whether it's the truth or not. Obviously, nobody's flying anywhere anymore, so the air pollution is going to be improving greatly. We know that flying is a massive cause of pollution and is, not doing the planet any good at all. Something that anyone who's interested in the environment will tell you, if you watch any of the zero waste channels and the minimalist channels as well, they all say spend less, buy less. Do you need these things? You don't need them, don't buy them. Well, do you know what? Apart from food and toilet paper, people have stopped buying things. My husband has a menswear shop and he hasn't really had a customer all week. We expect the government to tell him he'll have to close fairly soon, and so he'll have no income. Everyone's in the same boat, so I'm not going to moan about that. But of course, if he'll have an income because it's his own business and he has money in the bank, so hopefully he can afford to give himself some sort of a wage, but it will be a reduced wage. Today is my last day at work because I work in childcare and all the schools and childcare are being closed. I know that I'll be receiving statutory sick pay, but I don't know whether I'll receive any more than that. So what's going to happen if we're not receiving the money that we're used to? We're going to stop spending. And there's a lot on the news about people who are worried about their incomes and the money that comes in. So what's going to happen is the knock-on effect. Everyone's going to stop spending. Sadly, that does affect everyone. Obviously, people are not spending money in my husband's shop, which is why he is going to have to take a drop in wage and hopefully be able to get through this. But of course, his drop in wage means that we won't be buying anything. So there's that. These YouTubers who tell you, if you want to overcome this environmental crisis, you need to stop buying stuff. They're reaching a very small audience. But now this pandemic is reaching the whole world. And so I feel that whilst the world is in lockdown, i.e. whilst the population of the world is in lockdown, the nature of the world will be healing itself and making itself better. We haven't heard anything about fires in Australia anymore because everyone's talking about the pandemic. I imagine there are still fires in Australia, but often they are man-made fires, that have got out of control. That won't happen if people are in lockdown, will it? Nobody's going to be starting any more fires. I appreciate that if it's very hot over there and the land is very dry, it doesn't take much. It just takes a lot of sunshine through a glass bottle, I suppose, to cause a fire. And I don't know enough about the Australian bushfires to really go into that. The point I'm trying to make is that if the world is in lockdown, the planet should be able to heal itself a little bit. And the discussion I had with my sister the other day was that here in the UK, and I presume in other parts of the world, when nature is affected by something, for example, and I'm making this up, this is not a genuine thing, so I'm making this up, but if you have an abundance of badgers and they're ruining the wildlife, we have a cull. We decide we need to cull these badgers. We need to kill some of them off. We need less of them because what's happening, the badgers are having this effect. Is this just a cull of human life because we're having a massive effect on the planet? I'm not saying that God is doing it. I don't know. We don't know. There's all these theories that it was man-made, which I don't necessarily believe. We think it came from food that's eaten in China, the bat soup or the thing that looks like an armadillo that was eaten. Wherever it came from is irrelevant, really. My point is that I think at the end of the day, it's going to do the planet a lot of good. It's not going to do mankind. It's very, very sad. People will be burying their loved ones. And I myself am very concerned for my parents. They're both elderly. As I told you in my last video, my mum's health has taken a turn for the worse, and she relies on people to do all her basic daily care. She relies on other people for that. And if she gets the virus, don't like to say it, but she's very, very vulnerable. So I'm very worried, and I'm very aware that there will be people out there that may lose both their parents to this virus. It is very sad. Don't get me wrong. Nobody wants to lose loved ones. Nobody wants... we don't, you know, even people we don't know, it's very sad if you hear about people dying. It is very sad. But, you know, years ago, people didn't live into their hundreds, did they? Years ago, we had world wars that killed a lot of people off. I know the comments are probably going to go mad. I mean, I don't have a massive load of followers, so, but it's, if people pick this video up by the title, the comments may go mad. That's fine. Please share your opinion. We're all entitled to do that. But I will probably choose not to respond to those comments. What do you think? Am I completely bonkers? Tell me. Anyway, as I am of today no longer going to be at work, I don't think, we do have to provide childcare for those key workers, so I may have to go in. But as I may be spending a lot of time at home, I'm anticipating whether or not to make more videos. I am considering just making just vlogs, really, partly because I would love to record my own thoughts and feelings with regards to lockdown or isolation, whatever. For myself, I think it would be lovely for me to be able to look back on them, and also for any potential grandchildren I may have, because obviously this is going to be in the history books. It is massive, and for a long time we didn't comprehend quite how massive it was, but it's huge. So you may see a lot more of me. I may make more videos. You may not. Who knows? But thank you for watching this one. And I look forward to those comments that are coming. And I do appreciate you all being there, continuing to follow me, even though my uploads are hit and miss. I'm just going to say goodbye for now, because as you know, I can rabbit on and ramble for far too long, and I don't want to do that any longer. Bye-bye. Stay safe. Look after yourself. Look after your loved ones. And I do hope that you will get through this.